Introducing to you firstly in the blue corner, wearing navy and silver trunks. She weighed in at 8 stone, 13 pounds, 2 ounces. Her professional record boasts 3 wins, hailing from Swindon. Lady Luck, Beck Connolly. And her opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing black shorts. She weighed in at 8 stone, 13 pounds, 6 ounces. From 8 professional contests, her record boasts 7 wins and just 1 defeat. Hailing from Kings Lynn, Super Stevi Levy! Your timekeeper at the bell is Barry Pinder of Sheffield. Your referee is Andy Brook from Leeds.
Boxers, you both know the rules. Defence, times, they might come out times. We'll get to you both. Touch gloves, back to you corners.
This is a featherweight contest scheduled for 6 2-minute rounds.
One of these shows, and in against the experienced Beck Connolly, who's
Second
had 19 fights,
round
won 3 and lost 16, but that doesn't really tell the story of her. She's a tough trier. She's been in with the likes of Sky Nicholson, Ebony Bridges, Ramna Ali, you know, just to name a few. So Natasha Jonas was another one. So she's as tough as they come, and she should give Stevi Levy a few rounds here.
Yeah, I mean, Stevi, she stepped up, didn't she? Was it a match from Spain show? She went over and was the away fighter against a step-up fight. She did come up short, losing by a few points. But it's good to see when they really are, you know, they're ready to risk it. They're ready to roll the dice. Didn't work out. She's back on the rebuild. But I'm sure one of the next times that an arena show pulls through, you know, she does good for the ticket. She's a popular girl with Stevi, so she's backed as well. Dave Allen. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like about these girls, you know, that they're not afraid to take a risk, put it on the line. You touched on it earlier, Sonny, that there may not be the volume of women around at the moment, but when you get into the amateur gyms now, you know, you see the gyms are polluted with young girls, young women that are aspiring to be what these girls are now. So I think in 2 or 3 years' time, the volume really will be there. But with the lack of volume that we've got at the moment in women's boxing, the quality at the top level is really, really high, you know, and Stevi Levy's a product of one of those girls that's on that journey looking to get to the top, and I think that loss has done her well, landing some good shots here against Beck Connolly, who just...
she rocks her legs went there, her legs stiffened up.
Yep, there was a flush hook on the chin there, and like I say, Beck's been in and been the distance with a lot of good opponents, so this will be good if Stevi Levy can make a statement here, and she's really loading up with that right hand.
Connolly still looking to try and push forward, get inside the longer reach of Stevi Levy, having a hard time to do so far. A good opening round from Stevi, the home fighter.
Yeah, certainly was. She definitely won that one. She controlled it. She was getting off with her shots first there, and we see Beck Connolly go back to the corner, and it already looks like a struggle for Beck. But like I say, always brings value for money. She's always there. She's always tough. She's always giving it, but that lack of boxing ability, probably the best way of putting it, may get her into a few problems here this evening.
Yeah, well, it's definitely from no lack of effort. You know, she's an honest fighter. She comes in, she gives her best. Unfortunately, more times than not, it doesn't seem to be good enough. I think in the first round there's no arguments that Stevi was definitely the controller, the aggressor, the dictator of the pace, really, everything. So, you know, I think there's going to have to be some big changes in the pattern of the round from Beck Connolly if she's going to have any lady luck tonight.
Yep. And she come out with a little spring in her step there, Beck Connolly. I've got to say, mate, she shrugged the old shoulders and she was like, right, let's go, get back to work. She's as game as they come, that's for sure, and she's tried to go out there and stamp her authority in this second round, and both girls trading well here.
Looking to land a big right hand over the top, Stevi. I think she realised that it wasn't going to land and sort of just took the sting off it and the effort out of it halfway through throwing it. finds the target, misses there though.
Yep, when she's falling short with that right hand, she's coming through with that left hook, and Beck Connolly's carrying that right hand low, and she's getting caught flush on the chin with that from time to time. So Connolly really needs to, when she's delivering her shots, you watch where her hands come back down to her chest or to her waist, and they're just too low. And
Stevi using her lever as well there just then. Sorry to interrupt, just Ben. Using her lever as well just to find the target a few times. Yeah, she found the uppercut. Found the backhand through the middle. She's just got to be careful that she's not swinging too much of her chin in the air and in dangerous positions, I think. Yep. Sometimes you see her chin lean over her front foot when she's throwing the shots in. She's so eager to get to him.
Yeah, Beck Connolly again, just trying to push forward. Showing a lot of heart in there, but just a little bit off the pace, and Stevi Levy just beating her to the punch. Good little contest, this one, as we expected.
Well, Beck always makes her opponents work, Beck Connolly. She always trying to get inside the target. She's always trying to throw. Good 1-2 that lands right there from Beck Connolly in the away corner. And now we're going to cut to Jack Beaton and Fatted Forward on the mic.
Now joined by Jack Beaton ringside. Jack, we've got a big main event. Hamid Gaz versus Usmo for the English and WBA Continental titles. You've been there with Hamid, obviously trained with him. Who's winning that fight and how's it going?
It's a very interesting fight, you know, real 50-50. I don't think it's going the distance, but, you know, may the best man win. I'm looking forward to it.
What was it like? Obviously, you trained with Hamid, I'm pretty sure, like, a lot of rounds. What would you describe him as a fighter? How was he like?
Tough, good, powerful, strong fighter, coming forward. Beats him into the ring, but so does Reese. I've boxed Reese 5 times in the amateur, so I know Reese well when he's a little kid. It's going to be a war.
Corners, 10
Thank you very much
seconds.
for your time, bro.
And that was Jack Bateson to correct
Seconds
myself.
out.
Sorry,
Round 3.
the producer in my ear was all over the place there. Yeah, Jack Bateson from Leeds. And then we return to the action with Stevi Levy. 2 rounds up for me, Spence.
Yeah, definitely. She's just beating Beck Connolly to the punch at the moment. Beck's, you know, a trier. We know that. We've seen that. She's been a distance with so many good fighters, fallen short on many of occasions, but gives us good entertainment, good value for money. Stevi Levy's an improving fighter. She really is. She's looking better every time I see her. She's letting go of her shots. She's being a little bit more patient, picking that right hand, and if it does fall short, she's following up with the obvious shot, which is that left hook, and that's where she's getting her success.
And this is a calmer Stevi Levy than I've seen before, definitely. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think, you know, she brings a lot of energy and passion with her personality into the ring and fight week anyway. But maybe, you know, taking that slight second to look at what's in front of you rather than just sort of trying to, you know, make the most out of every single look that you get is leading to more success. I think she's taking her time a little bit more than she has in some of her other fights. She doesn't seem to be getting carried away with her work either.
Showing a lot more maturity is probably a good way of putting it. You know, as she's gaining that experience, she's just settling down a little bit and just being more selective with her shots. You know, he was talking about someone earlier on. Who was it? Nicola Hopewell. Nicola Hopewell was the girl. She was taking her time for a girl with limited experience. Nicola was picking the shots well, controlling the space, and Stevie's demonstrating a little bit of that because we know she's a little hot-head. We know what she likes to do. She likes to go out there and have a tussle, let her arms fly, not a lot of thought behind what she does. But here tonight, we're seeing her picking her shots a little bit more, and this is Beck Connolly at her best, coming into her own now, bites down on that gum shield and really goes for it.
A bit of swelling coming up on, I think, the right side of Beck Connolly's face, on her eye. But yeah, definitely, and I like the work that Stevi does when she resets and lets a nice long jab out. She controls the range of her levers, and I think that's where she has the most success, where she starts off with the first phase of the attack. She sees where Beck Connolly is trying to work, and then she punishes her the second phase. So yeah, I think it's a shout out so far through 3 rounds with Stevi.
Yeah, I agree with that. Stevie's doing the better work, you know. Beck Connolly just falling a little bit short here, but entertaining contest, as they all have been tonight actually. You know, we haven't seen any one-sided contest yet. We've seen clear winners, but you know, the guys
Corners, 10
have
seconds.
been losing, or the females that have been losing have been giving good
Seconds
accounts
out.
of themselves. So
Round
really good,
4.
really good matchmaking here tonight, and this contest is equally as good.
Yeah, I mean, it plays testament to all the hard work that the fighters, the trainers have been putting in. This date has been spoken about for a pretty long time, so especially the home fighters, you would imagine have had a long time to prepare. And I think they've used it. I mean, it's sometimes hard, the first fight, fresh of the Christmas period. As you know, February's quite an early date really to get straight off after that period of
Losing
time.
the old turkey's not easy, is it, mate? If you're,
And I think a lot of fighters, they like that period off in the year. I think they like starting again. So
Yeah.
for Stevi, you know, we're halfway through February. I think she's got a big, busy year ahead of her. And there's probably a few interesting domestic fights and sort of sub-domestic with all the sort of adopted Brits, females especially, that we seem to have that sort of set-up camp over here.
Yeah.
There probably is a few fights for her on the horizon with maybe some, you know, bauble titles or regional titles, because as I've been seeing, they're fleshing out the titles that they're giving to the females, and there's international titles and Commonwealth titles getting introduced. But it is good for the grand scheme of things, because like you were saying earlier, fighters like Stevi, obviously at a high level, your Katie Taylors, your Clarissa Shields, they are really inspiring a generation of female fighters.
Yeah, sure.
And like you said, we see it in the gyms. I remember going through 4, 5, 6, 7 different gyms as an amateur and not ever training alongside another female boxer. Now, as a pro, there's 2 females in our gym.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. It's like it really has changed over the last few years, and success does breed success. And these girls are hungry. You know, they're wanting to, you know, show that they belong in these rings and they belong topping these bills. And like I say, you know, that was a monumental moment, the O2, the all-women's card, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that. I think the talent is coming through. You know, Stevie's looking to get in the mix with the likes of Ebony Bridges, Sky Nicholson, Ramla Ali, Natasha Jonas, and what these women do actually, and this is what I love about these women, they will fluctuate. Like if you look at Amanda Serrano, she's a 7-weight world champion. Like they fluctuate between weights. They'll box for a bantamweight title because the volume's not there. They'll go up and box for a lightweight title, you know,
Yeah,
and
they change weight.
they're not worried to jump out of their weight divisions.
I do want to take 1 second. You did mention her, Ebony Bridges, and I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to speak out of turn. I know she has something to do with Stevi. I believe she sponsors her, helps support her career. You can see the EB logo on her shorts. But also, if I can remember rightly, I believe I also saw a Nicola Hopewell short. So if Ebony Bridges is supporting the young fighters, which it seems like she is,
10 seconds.
and making a big play on supporting the young female fighters and using her position and platform, that's very commendable.
Seconds out.
And actions
Round
that I would like to see
5.
a lot more other active and past fighters, you know, really take up.
Do you know what? It could have been a stroke of genius from Ebony Bridges as well there, because the girls that you mentioned that she's sponsoring are actually in her weight category, and they're the younger ones coming through. It might be a little sweetener just to, like, you know what I mean, keep these like young guns away, you know, because the young ones are the ones that are hungry. They're ones that are aspiring to be the next Ebony Bridges. You know, them girls are making their mark in the sport, and they're doing so well.
Yeah, like of course, Ebony's a bit further ahead with, you know, she's holding the IBF, I think, bantamweight world title.
That's right.
I'm not sure. I think Stevi might look to operate a little bit heavier than bantamweight though. I feel like she's more, you know, super feather lightweight for my money.
Yeah, but that's what I say. They fluctuate.
They do.
Man,
They definitely do. They definitely do. But for sure, it might definitely help avoid sidestep a fight or two if you sponsor the division.
Exactly. Ebony, we're only having a little joke with you there. We're just putting a little bit of light-hearted stuff. But listen, back to this contest. I've got to tell you, mate, like you can see now down the right side of the face, the eye badly swelling up from those left hooks from Stevie Levy. But I got to say that Lady Luck really is giving it a go here. Like, she is tough as they come, Bet Connolly. I say it every time she boxes, actually, but I mean, she gives the paying punter what they want to see.
She does, but it right now seems like she might be running out of luck a little bit, because Stevie is starting to land a few more shots that for me, If I've got an away fighter in the corner, the eye starts flaring up like that,
she's out.
I'm starting to look.
Yeah, she's out.
You know, your eyesight, your health, especially in that away corner.
But she can see there, look at the body language, look at the face of Beck Connolly. She's a proud girl, and she's giving it, but...
And she's landing on that same target area again and again. Her eye looks like it's closing up a little bit more slightly here. That's a fantastic round for Stevi, letting a few more heavy shots go. Dave Allen in between the last round asked how I think it's going on. We put our thumbs up. I think they're nice and cool right now. Up and coming there, showing out. That's Naman Hussein, I believe. Yeah, Naman Hussein. No, that's... Sorry, the screen is very small. That's the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Hamid Gaz warming up ahead. Oh, I can see it in the background now. There we go. It's coming into the shot for me. Hamid Gaz, he's warming up ahead of the main event. His fight against Reese Mould. Great
fight that actually for the English lightweight title and the WBA Intercontinental lightweight title.
Seconds out.
Garaz is 18-0 versus Reese Mould, who's 16-1, and that proves to be spectacular. But back to this one here, Sonny, and we've got a real little barnstormer on here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any doubts of who's in charge, in control of proceedings here. That eye is looking worse by the punch that's landed on it for me.
And what would you be thinking right now? You're in that corner, you're looking after her. We know Beck Connolly's not going to win this contest. She's lost every round at the moment. Is there a point when you go, I've seen enough?
Well, for me personally, she's not shipping too much actual
No, but I mean from the facial damage, I'm saying, you know, because that eye's only going to get worse.
And she's like what we were talking about earlier, you know, the away corner fighters, they often don't want to get stopped because they want to fight within the next few weeks. With an eye like that, you're not fighting in the next few weeks. So for me personally, I'm monitoring it because to me, she might not come even out for this round. I'll be honest. I know it's not completely shut or anything, but that swelling, it doesn't look good. You know, there could be some damage underneath there. And like I said, for the fight in the away corner, shipping unnecessary damage for, you know, a hindered eyesight of the right eye. Stevie's had no trouble finding that left hand all contest.
Sure.
I don't know, I might be looking.
But
then
no,
again,
but
it's
listen,
about a minute left. So.
I think we're looking at the safety of the fighters and all that. Not saying, by the way, for anyone that's listening to this, that it has been a one-sided fight. Like Beck Connolly's landing her own shot, she's pushing forward. Sometimes fighters are too brave for their own good. And as we just saw there, Sonny, the noise you just made was from another left hook that's landed. That's the shot that's been finding the success. That's the shot that's been doing damage to the eye. Beck Connolly, proud girl, pushing forward, giving it her all. 10-second clacker goes.
And I'm glad she's seen the final bell. Like we said, there was no point she was, and a big shot lands. There was no point she was completely under fire. But that eye, you know, if it was a few more rounds, I wouldn't like to see that continue. But Beck Connolly sees the final bell. Stevi Levy, I think, is a shutout winner again. I think she's won it on every single card. I think her lead hand absolutely controlled her the fight. I think you can see the damage it was doing to the face of her opponent. A happy team in the red corner. We also now see Joe Jenkins. Is that? This screen is terribly small. Or is that Reese Mould? No, that's Joe Jenkins. That's Joe Jenkins. This screen. That's Joe Jenkins warming up ahead of his next fight.
We've been bigging up the promoter here from GMB, Izzy, about what a great production he's put on, a great show he's put on, screens everywhere, packed out place, fireworks.
I should have looked at the bigger screen down the end. I would have
fireworks are walking, but what I was going to say is we've got the smallest screen. To explain to you what we're looking at, it's the size of a phone, right?
After 6 rounds of action, we go to referee Andy Brooks' scorecard. He scores the contest 58 points to 56 points in favour of your winner from Kings Lynn, Super Stevi Levy.
Well, I tell you what, Sonny, we're getting the right decisions tonight, but we're getting the wrong scores. That's 2 or 3 times that's happened there.
You got to remember though, when it's the referee, there's only one person in there. Maybe they're over rewarding the better work after a bad round. You know what I mean?